Muffin's gotta be the best muffin.
What was that? What?
I do
What's that sound?
Where?
It's aliens and they're living in your town.
Damn.
They have arrived. What? They're all around. So many aliens living in your town.
Hello, weirdos out there in Weirdo Land. It is the Weird and Whatever podcast. We talk about the paranormal. We talk about aliens, Bigfoot, cryptozoology, spiritualism, one of my favorite topics to go into. Mental health, another one that I love.
It's very big.
I'm gonna touch on that today.
Okay, we're going to get into some mental health. I like that. That is our man, Mr. Ryan Beckett. We got our producer, Denny's. And we have Vicky, our psychic medium here. Psychic medium is not at all a bad thing to say, correct?
No, that's accurate.
Well, I want to wish everybody a happy Learn How to Ride Your Bike Day.
So is this a day dedicated to learning how to ride a bike, or is this a day you celebrate the fact that you can ride a bike?
See, that's the age-old question. What came first, the ride or...
So that's cool. So I feel like bike riding is almost a dying art now, right? Aren't a lot of kids not learning how to ride bikes?
Well, because you're a random fact, no one's riding bikes anymore.
Yeah, well, so I think both Virginia's kids and Kevin's kids and Suits didn't know how to ride a bike. Like,
Wow.
And I learned how to ride a bike, but, man, I rode a bike. I was called Kermit the Frog because my legs would go out as if I was a Muppet. And kids definitely bullied me the first couple weeks back in.
If you were a cool kid in elementary school, you had a mongoose. Remember
Mongoose?
mongoose?
Yeah,
Mongoose. You were with the back pegs.
Yeah, so we used to do BMX racing,
Yeah.
and the mongoose were good. I went from a Huffy to a mongoose.
I'm a gearhead, dare I say, a bike face. I love bikes. But
Vicky, mongoose, bike face. What is he saying? Some of us did not grow up on the right
No.
side of the tracks.
I had a purple bike with a headlight.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
so,
it.
so now all the rage are these battery bikes. You know, the pedal
Yeah.
assist.
Yeah.
I mean, these things go fast, and they have a ton of range. And you can just pedal normal. You can pedal faster with the assist, or you can just go full
Gorilla.
gorilla.
Full gorilla, baby.
Yeah.
I say just give me an old-fashioned Schwinn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Schwinn guy, baby.
Hashtag Schwinning.
Happy National Day of Prayer. I want to ask you guys, does anybody here pray?
When I need some.
See, that's Santa Claus stuff.
No, I know.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, here's Beckett again when he needs stuff.
Oh, please, I did not use a condom. Please don't let me have bumps.
Well, one of my favorite spiritual poems is called Footprints in the Sand. And Footprints in the Sand, long story short, is a poem where you touch back on spirituality through different points of your life, but if you look backwards, there was two sets of footprints their entire time.
Oh, you're going to teach us about the ABCs 1, 2, 3s next, Becky?
Birds
Come
and-
on. Footprints.
Birds and the bees.
Footprints is classic,
Classic.
Denny.
It's my favorite poem.
That's poetry That's poetry, religion / spiritualism 101, baby.
It gets me off the hook.
I do love that poem, though.
It's a great poem.
I do love that. Vicky, what are your thoughts on that poem? Footprints.
Oh, it's been a long time since I read it, to be honest.
Oh, same here.
Yeah.
Beckett, is there
But I
any
have heard of it.
Could you recite it next week, as a homework assignment, off book?
100%.
Okay, we heard it here. We're gonna get a little poetry reading, or
I forgot how long it is, but yes.
it's a quick read.
Okay.
It's very quick. All right, Beckett's got a homework assignment.
Yeah.
Footprints.
He's hyped. He just got back.
Stoked. Hit me with it hard.
It's like, oh, sweet.
But do you pray, Vicky?
Growing up, my mom always said that you need to be very careful when you pray, that you shouldn't pray for anything that might be selfish. So because of that, I kind of didn't pray for a really long time. And then when I did start to pray, I started to pray for others instead of something that was going to benefit me. So I saved my personal wishes for 11/11. And that's where, I make my wishes of things that I want to come true. I do it at that instead of doing it in prayer form.
Everything you both just said was the reason why I stopped praying, probably about age 21, because I did realize I was doing Santa Claus stuff. I'd only pray when I needed help or bail money, so to speak.
Let me get that touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, God, please. We're playing Broward.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think the higher power would prefer you check in when times are tough or rough or whatever than not at all.
That's a good perspective, and I do see what you're saying, but I found myself only praying on a selfish ego level, only when I needed it, and I didn't think that was a good relationship do you have with something or anything or any entity you're praying with? I felt like it was very self-serving, and I realized it wasn't coming from the heart. It was coming more from, please get me out of this problem. Now, I think there's a point where you can get out of that phase. I pray now, but I pray in my own weird way. It's not in the sense of a religion, but it's talking more to just, I don't know, whatever created all this. Denny's, have
Just
you ever
speaking out into the universe.
Shit, I sound like Katy Perry. Fuck.
You're an astronaut over there.
Have you ever said a prayer, Denny's, ever in your life?
I have not, but I was never trained to say prayer. I think you went to a school that was like a religious school.
Mr. Beckett did, didn't you?
Pope
John Paul. Eagles?
Yeah, Eagles.
Yeah, I'm very good. Yeah.
So yeah, I just never really did. I mean, I guess everybody has their own version of it. You don't necessarily have to pray to a god or something. You can, a lot of times I'll just talk to myself in my own head.
And
I talk things through.
You could argue if you're taking religion out of it. I'm not saying religion because I know there's a lot of rules when it comes to religion. But if you're talking about on a spiritual side, talking to yourself is kind of like it's your form of talking to whatever you would perceive as God.
Totally. I think it's natural for people to. I think you have to hear your voice in your head sometimes, talk to yourself, and I think it's a natural thing. I think if you don't, put that into prayer, then you just don't really have a name for it. Something you do yourself.
And I think sometimes stuff like that just makes you feel better. Mm-hmm. For some people, it just makes you feel better. I mean,
even that you're not alone, you know,
Yes.
because you're praying to someone that you think is in charge. I practice more instead of asking for things when something good happens or, danger is averted. I'm very big on saying that thank you. Thank you, God. This could have been way worse than this. So I'm very, very into the thank you portion of it.
I've had moments where I'm like, that could have been really bad, right? It's just a real quick thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I've also done some praying. Well, I guess you could make a case there's a little bit of a selfish through line to me, but like when my dogs weren't well and stuff like that, or someone in my life is going like, kind of touch in when it's not exactly me either. But it is by and large when there's some kind of shit hitting the fan, if that makes sense.
It's just not a regular day to day.
Yeah, it's not always just about me though, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I was curious to see how you guys would respond. Great answers, great panel, great stuff tonight, guys. And happy National Phone in Sick Day. We're gonna play a little game right now.
Phone in sick.
Phone in Sick Day. Now you were on one night. You are drinking. It's 1 a.m. and you go, shit, I'm still drunk. There's no way I'm going into work tomorrow. I have to fake a sick call into the boss. I need the best sick voice on this panel tonight.
All right.
Who's going to go first tonight? And make it real believable like. And the boss will be Mr. Scroggins. So you're calling in, Mr. Scroggins. So Mr. Scroggins is the name of the boss. The drill is to sound as sick and as believable as possible, and then we will vote in the chat room who did the worst.
All right, we'll go for who did the worst. Yeah. And are you also going to be playing, Bird, or no?
I think we all should play.
All right, I like it. All right, who's kicking it off?
Who's calling Mr. Scroggins?
I will.
All right. All right. Hold on. We got to.
I'm starting.
No. Bring.
Okay.
Hello, what is the meaning of this?
I'm sorry, Mr. Scroggins. I'm sorry. This is Vicky, and I don't think.
Oh, yes, go on, please.
I don't think I'm going to be able to make it in today. Sorry. I just I took a COVID test, and I can send you a picture of it. It's positive. It's positive.
Okay, please, no more. I can't hear this. This is too much coughing. All right, I'll see you when you get better. Bye. I'm Mr. Scroggins. All right.
That seemed like it worked. Scroggins was grossed out.
Grossed out.
Got him off the phone.
I don't know, though. A lot of coughing. Some would say so performative. I don't know, though. That's up to the people, Beckett.
All right.
All right. Next.
Should I go next?
Next will be Mr. Denny's. Hello, I'm still sleeping.
Mr. Scroggins, I'm falling apart.
Who is this?
Sorry, I can't even think right now. I can't even think right now.
Who's calling me a cartoon?
This is Denny's. I work for you.
Are you laughing?
I'm hurting.
You're fired. fired. Click. All right.
Whatever. I felt like I was relatively sick at the beginning of that. I feel like you didn't let that go on long enough, by the way. All right. That counts as my turn.
Call back.
Screw it. Now it's not even. It's gonna turn into a joke now. Let's move on to Beckett.
Bring. Hello. Yes.
Mr. Scroggles.
Scroggles? Scroggles? Did you mispronounce my name? Who is this?
Bojangles. See, my head's not even right. My head,
Bojangles, the restaurant?
my head's not right. I got back from the Appalachian Trail. It rained. I think I got walking pneumonia.
Appalachian Trail, you pretentious fuck. You fired. Click.
It worked. It worked.
Mr. Scroggles.
Mine worked the quickest.
Scroggles.
Scroggles? Oh my God.
That's because I'm so sick.
Well done.
All right, should I be? I'll be.
Give me Scroggins.
Mr. Scroggles.
Hey, Mrs. Scroggins, how's it going?
I'm doing well. Who is this?
I didn't mean to talk to. I got it. Oh gosh, this is Jason Pennington, one of your workers. I am very sick and very ill. I don't know if I can make it into work.
You don't sound sick at all.
I've got this. Stop touching me. I'm sorry. I can't believe what's going on, Mr. Scroggins. I don't know why I've turned British, but I can't make it into work, and thank you very much. Sorry for taking your time. All right,
so Bird turned British.
Yeah.
Mine was the quickest hang-up.
That was great fun.
That was good.
Let the audience
I put it out in the.
vote for who did the worst. I'll gladly take it. That was so fun.
I feel like Vicky did the best.
Vicky did great. She did really
Not
good.
that I've had a lot of practice or anything.
She did really good. Me and Denny's were the worst.
I don't know why me and Denny's.
We both laughed. We laughed during our phone call.
It's hard to.
But we'll check.
Scroggles.
We'll check back in on those stats, and we will update you guys on who did the worst. Something tells me I already know the answer.
I can already see a leader.
I think it's time for some Ask Vicky. Ask Vicky. Ask Vicky. All right. Vicky, our paranormal investigator, she is awesome. She's also part of a ghost team that is a paranormal investigator. I said that twice in a different way. And also our psychic medium. First question is this, Vicky. Can you share a memorable experience where a spirit provided crucial information or a warning? How did that impact the people involved?
I'm not sure how much of an impact, but one of the first houses that I investigated in Port St. Lucie, Bobby Joe had done the research, but of course kept it from, the rest of us. And so we did the investigation. We had like a male, very, very angry. One of my investigators actually got scared. She ran out of the house and she was suspended later on. Anyway, another story. Yeah, we don't run. Like, you don't run out of a client's house.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you can't handle it, you shouldn't be on the team. Anyway.
So you got a fire for that.
She was suspended.
Or suspended for that.
She was suspended, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's under investigation.
Yeah.
So you got to walk out probably calmly and
yes,
just go.
you just have to, you're supposed to walk out and you're supposed to say, hey, can you meet me outside? And then I would go outside, whatever. But when she went outside, after she ran past us, and she went outside, she was extremely loud, and the clients could hear her way back in the back of the house. But anyway, so when we went back the next time, by that time, Bobby Joe had revealed who the former owner of the property had been and that his property had been taken by FP&L at some point, pieces of his property. So I said, Mr. Such and Such, we know what FP&L did to you, and we have an EVP that said not fair. So that kind of gave us confirmation that we were talking to that spirit, and he was still there because he was still trying to hold on to his property, even though a big portion of it had been taken by FP&L. It was one of the first times where we had an EVP that matched, I felt, the history that we had researched to the property.
Beckett, we've got, property, FP&L, just pure mayhem, thoughts, opinions.
I wonder if and how much you got compensated, because that's eminent domain, right? So if they take the land, you got to compensate. And a lot of people some people are happy with it, some people are pissed off about it, but they're required by law to give compensation. Yeah. But so it'd be interesting to know.
Can they force compensation on you?
Yes.
Where they just go, here's money, and they kick you out.
Yeah, I mean, you can litigate it, and it can get protracted and drawn out. But if a highway or a train or a bridge needs to come through, it needs to come through.
Like in the movie Up, how they're going to build where his house is.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Vicky, have you ever encountered a spirit that refused to communicate? What do you think causes some entities to stay silent and some elusive, some very talkative?
Some are just super, super stubborn. They don't want us to know for sure that they're there. They just refuse to talk. It's that simple. When you come in as a team, the spirit, if it's an earthbound spirit, they want to stay where they're at. And if they are detected, then we could come in and we could do a cleansing or we could do a crossing. There's a bunch of stuff we can do to try to force them off the property. So they're just like stubborn, standing in the corner with their arms crossed like, I'm not going to freaking talk to you.
Do they have a sense of time? Purgatory's got to get old after a while. I can see like the first couple years, you're like, hey, this is my land. But you know, the whole point of staying on Earth is you got shit to figure out, right?
Yeah, that's a great point from Beckett. If you're stuck in a purgatory, or if you're an earthbound spirit, or you're stuck in a realm, so to speak, you can't really feel pleasure, right? You can't really.
Just in stasis.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of leads into the next question. And if you don't mind, before you answer, let me go into this one. Do ghosts ever cry or feel emotions of sadness? Do they feel emotions of happiness? Or do they just stay numb and they're just existing? And if they are just numb and existing, why would they stay there? Aren't they feeling something to want to be there?
Right. So, yes, they can experience emotions. Those emotions can be portrayed to the person who has ability that's doing the walkthrough. Many a time, that's what I pick up on first, is the overwhelming feeling of the place, which is coming from the spirit. Going back, I've had many conversations with earthbound spirits where I have tried my best to explain. Most of the time, they're scared about going to the other side because they don't know what's going to greet them, especially if they weren't the nicest people in the world. And what I tell them is like, listen, I know that you're scared that maybe you're going to go someplace that you think of as hell, but you being stuck here, not being able to move, not being able to go to the next level, this is your hell. Mm-hmm. And you need to let go. You're going to have to go through the process. Eventually, you'll get your freedoms. But being here, you'll never make it through anything. And this is your hell.
Some people think hell's never going to ever stop, so they just think that they should just stay there and be.
Some people think what we're in now is hell.
Yeah.
And we're in hell until you go ascend.
Expand on that theory, Denny's.
Depends which day you ask me.
Well, just because we have the disparity of suffering and happiness. If you went somewhere that was, better, or nirvana or whatever, it's only going to have the one. It's only going to have happiness.
They always say you need bad and good to appreciate, but I don't know, man. It'd be pretty friggin' awesome to have awesomeness constantly.
For sure.
I'm speaking on a human brain there.
That's the tricky part. If you're thinking in a very material plane that we're in, all you can think of is your body, people that objects that you have and hold.
Yeah.
But a lot of that stuff, I mean, if you go by any Eastern, they don't think you bring anything with that. Mm-hmm. No ties.
Do you think Nirvana exists? Anybody here? Is that possible? You get to the end of the video game, and that's where you save the princess, you blow up the Death Star, everything is great, everything is awesome, although Star Wars dorks are going to get me. A lot happens after they blow up the Death Star.
I hope so, because I'm going to be tired at 100. You know what I mean? I want a world with a lot of carrots, not sticks.
So you don't want to live to 150, even if you had perfect health?
Oh, I definitely want to live to 150 with perfect health.
You would?
Yeah. But I'm just saying... hopefully by 150, I'm on my retirement. I'm kicking it, watching my grandkids play baseball, and I got my own aches and pains and stuff. But at that point, I want it to be kind of relatively smooth sailing at that point.
Yeah.
I don't want to be doing the grind anymore, work, I
Vicky, what do you think? Nirvana, does that exist?
I don't think anything is perfect in this life or the next. Do I think you achieve your own definition of happiness and can? Absolutely. I just don't think that it's necessarily what it's been portrayed to be, just because I've seen my glimpses into the other side. It's not miserable at all, but it's not It's not the way they portray it.
Even if you're a terrible dick face here on Earth, and you die, is it so bad when you die? In your opinion?
Well, I mean, what I've been shown is that you're going to go to those classrooms. And yeah,
are
it's
they
gonna
terrible though?
They can be pretty miserable.
Are they going to have claws and
No.
fires?
No, they're literally like a classroom, and you have to look at all the things that you did, the reason why you're in the classroom, and you have to go through the process. It's like a big giant therapy session where you don't have a chance. You don't get a break. You don't get snacks. You just have to go through this big, long therapy session until you come to your own realizations of what you should have done differently.
It's that movie Defending Your Life.
No snacks.
Imagine getting through life of 100 years, putting in your time, and you get sat right when you pass, right in a classroom with your name on the board, watching the clock. That'd be horrible.
Oh man!
But you're also probably a jerk off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
would have had to have done something.
You're saying, oh, you have to pay the Reaper.
Yeah. You're not in the
So
class.
if you didn't ascend, you have to go to the class to learn, so that
Right.
next life you can ascend.
You could be
Right.
a hard worker and still a horrible monster.
Let's put it this way. If you just, in theory, this is what would happen. We're all theorizing here. If you, in that next life or, next chapter, death is off the table. So if you had what our experience is today with death off the table, that is markedly better, right? In the next chapter. Because if you're in the afterlife, there's no death.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you can still have days where things didn't go your way and you're kind of Eeyore that day, but you take death off the table.
Eeyore is the worst poo character out there, and I get some shit for this when I go in on hard on Eeyore.
What's worse, Eeyore or the Grouch?
Oh, Grouch is way better.
Way better?
Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He's way better.
Grouch is Eeyore. All Eeyore brings is just trauma dumping and just his bullshit.
What about the elephant on Sesame Street? What's his name?
Snuffleupagus?
Snuffle? First of all, it's
Where does
not
he rank?
It's a woolly mammoth, and how dare you call it an elephant? And second of all, Eeyore and Snuffleupagus are in the same category.
Tied.
And I'm also I don't know.
No one wins by a neck length?
They both kind of suck, and
By a
I got
trunk?
my eye on you too, Piglet. You ain't that awesome either.
I'm not well, I guess Piglet's okay.
He's all right.
He's all right.
He's like Pooh's boy. Pooh's pretty wild though too. He's so motivated by honey.
He's running around without pants all day.
Yeah,
That's
that's the biggest. Crime.
hashtag me poo. I've had to use that before. What is the scariest? Great job, Vicky. By the way, great job. Let's talk kid movies that are legit horrifying. They're supposed to be a kid movie,
But
and
they're scary.
Yeah, you always talk about, and I wrote it in my notes because I've never seen it before. Ernest Goes to Halloween Camp.
No, Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yeah.
Ernest Scared Stupid.
I think that movie's good. I haven't seen it in a long time, so it could just be my
I used to like
millennial
Ernest.
brain.
I used to like Ernest.
I love
They had
Ernest.
Ernest Goes to Jail, Ernest Scared Stupid, and then there was Ernest Goes to Camp.
Yeah, Ernest was whack.
Anytime those came out, I would watch them in earnest.
He just wanted to.
Yeah, he did that. He's not too tired, is he?
I had to. It's his LaCroix.
Okay, so Ernest Goes to Halloween.
That movie's actually scary though. Ernest Scared Stupid. It's got a couple. I remember seeing that in theaters and thinking it was pretty scary as a kid.
That's what I'm asking.
Present day, probably not.
Things that are, they're kind of creepy. I mean, Poltergeist was a PG movie. That movie, if you watch Poltergeist, I'm sorry,
That's
man.
scary.
Show that to Baby Lachlan, and I think he'd be
I
horrified.
think they got one past the goalie on that one.
I think they rated things different.
Yeah, they did.
that would be a PG-13 right
at
now.
least.
At least, yeah.
Poltergeist. Yeah,
There's
they
not
put-
any nudity or anything,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I would go. Here's a movie, and I really do. I urge people to watch this movie, and please tell me if it's shit or tell me if you love it. Monster Squad.
I think it's got a good support.
It is such a good, scary movie for little kids, I think.
I agree.
I mean-
it's kind of like an action movie that's got
Yeah.
monsters. It's got everything.
Good dialogue.
Yeah.
There was even a Boy Meets World episode that it's about Halloween, and it's slightly creepy watching it. If you're watching it, you're not scared, but it kind of makes you feel a little weird in the stomach.
Whenever I was young, I always loved Halloween specials. You know how cartoons or TV shows would do a Halloween special each season? I always loved that because it's something different. They always would do something spooky.
What about Nightmare Before Christmas? Is that considered kids?
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
We watched that. Lachlan watched that.
It's twisted.
It is twisted. We watched it with Lachlan. I'm glad I just
This
said
is
that.
twisted.
Could you show a kid the movie Carrie?
No.
No, hell no.
All right,
Good
fuck.
God.
You can't show me Carrie.
The locker room scene alone.
Can I have my? That was a joke. I want to keep you guys on your toes. Yeah, if you guys have a suggestion, let us know.
What about Witches with Angelica Houston?
Yeah, we talked about that last week,
Yeah.
I think.
But is that
yeah.
scary though? It's more like
Yeah,
That one
there
part's
were-
horrifying.
Yeah, there were parts
and
that
they turn
were.
the kid into a mouse.
I think witchcraft is horrible.
Well, yeah. You mean just in general?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
wait, the movie.
Yeah.
Did you say
Those are for
I thought you
kids.
meant in general.
like witchcraft as the practice?
Like the practice of.
No, the movie.
Oh, all right.
That's the name of the movie, right? With what's her face?
You talking
Nev
about the
Campbell.
craft?
Bette
The
Midler.
Craft.
Bette
The
Midler.
Craft. With
No,
Bette Midler.
Oh no,
Wow.
you're talking
No.
about.
Hocus Pocus?
Hocus Pocus.
This is. We sound terrible.
That's why I
right
had to
now.
get clarification.
Hocus Pocus is scary as hell.
We sound like
It is a little on the scary side, but
If
that
you're a
movie's
kid,
not scary.
if you're a kid, I remember. Witches scare you as a kid.
They do.
we sound very stoned right now.
Yes. What about
No.
the Witches of Eastwick?
Well, that's not a kid's.
It's not a kids movie, Dan.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'll
mean,
put on there
where's my
the
head? Let me get it
Goosebumps,
back.
the original Goosebumps, like the Haunted Mask.
Oh, yeah,
and ones like
Haunted
that.
Mask.
Those were pretty intense.
Are You Afraid of the Dark had some scary episodes on Nickelodeon. Snick.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know. Drop us a comment, or
Do you want the results? Somebody mentioned The Craft. That's a good movie. I've seen that movie a bunch. Do you want the results of?
yes. Let me guess. I got worse.
So coming with 9% of the votes for who did worst, it was me, Denny's.
Really?
Wow.
Then it was followed up by Ryan Beckett, 18%. Vicky, 27%, and Shaver, 45%.
I feel bad. Now I know how Kevin feels. It's tough to host and play games.
It's hard to remember. It's so weird because Vicky got best. She did the best according to their comments, but as far as voting, I don't know where they're at.
Who knows? Who knows what's going on out there? Here's a scenario. I'd like to get everyone's take on this. This is from, well, I'll keep his name out. My wife spiked my dinner. I've had insomnia for about 2 weeks, haven't been able to sleep. I hate taking medication. Long story short, my wife mixed in Ambien with my pasta. She told me the next day. She doesn't understand why I'm so mad. On a scale of 1 to 10, how mad would you be at your significant other if they drugged you?
Big party. No, I'm
10.
kidding.
10.
Yeah, because I mean that breaks all trust. You don't know if the
Yeah.
next meal you eat you're gonna just pass out in your mashed potatoes.
Nah, it's messed up.
So
Yeah, it's terrifying.
It's your wife.
Yeah, you got to be bummed out if you're getting.
I think it's divorce.
And she says, "Oh, I was just trying to help you, honey. You haven't slept in 2 weeks."
I don't know. That's pretty.
Is that divorce? Do you, if your wife Jen slipped you an Ambien in your food
Oh, I'd be
and
so
told
bummed
you the
out.
next day, and you're all groggy and shit, how do you handle that as a Denny's?
I'd get a hotel.
Really?
Yeah, because you'd have to make sure you're not getting like more doses.
you
so-
sassy bitch.
How'd you get
Okay.
there? You have to Uber. You took an Ambien. Drugged.
Well, I mean, that would be my next phase would be go there. I think I have a pretty high tolerance towards a lot of these drugs.
Yeah, and he probably let it wear off, Becky.
Yeah, that's then I'm gonna go to a hotel, and I just because I don't want to spend the night there. You wake up and
Okay, so
And water.
you're at the hotel and Jen's texting you, she's calling you.
sorry, I poisoned you.
Baby, you weren't sleeping for 2 weeks. You haven't slept.
I
I'm
don't
asleep fine
know.
now.
I don't know, right? That's
That-
going
but-
above the. It's going beyond.
But wouldn't that mess you up? Because
Well, you just from then on, I would always be afraid if something tasted weird.
but that'd be odd too, because you think you really know your wife so well, and then she comes out there and says, "I drugged you."
I'd just be like, such bad judgment. That's just such bad judgment.
If you're married, Beckett, and your wife does that,
major hypothetical.
is this divorce or do you work through it?
It's not divorce, but she's gonna have to feel like it is.
See-
That's how it's gonna get brought up in couples counseling
So you're gonna bring it up
Oh, yeah.
constantly.
all the time.
Yeah, she's got at least a 10-year sentence of I'm bringing it up all the time.
It's at least a year, and then even then I'm still pissed.
Vicky, what are your thoughts?
I would understand the sentiment behind it, and like they wanted to help me, but I don't do pills or anything like that. So I would be mad just because you used a forum that
Yeah.
I normally would not take. I mean, like if you gave me a little extra, shot of something with the intent of making me pass out, that would be different than slipping something that I normally wouldn't take in my
Slip you
drink.
a Mickey.
agree.
Slip you a
Yeah.
Mickey.
Your wife Denny's is in the chat right now,
know.
and she said, "I've been slipping him drugs for years. He loves it."
I know they're coaxing her into doing it.
So,
tonight.
would you guys have a different answer? Because there's a difference in semantics of medicine and drugs. So, if it was like a medicine, say they put
She makes me like
they
the
put
purple drink.
Tylenol because you're feeling like a little like fluish,
Yeah.
or as opposed to putting a little thing recreational in there.
I do not think you should ever put anything.
Anything, I agree.
Anything on another human. I guess unless they're dying.
It's
And
such a violation.
it
Right,
is.
totally.
I mean, I get that you're upset that your husband's not sleeping, and I know he's probably annoying because he's not sleeping.
Yeah, my body, my choice.
You can't put. First of all, Ambien is an insane drug.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't know you're on it. You might think you're.
Dying.
I mean, I'm not even kidding you.
Crazy, yeah.
I some people that love Ambien, oh, the bird, there's no way. If you've never taken Ambien is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a friend that years ago she took it and she woke up. She was under the kitchen sink trying
Oh.
to consume
That's
some
dangerous.
type of household chemical.
Oh,
gosh.
they prescribed me Ambien when I was like 19 or 20 years old, and I would say off of that pretty quickly because it was exactly you put a pizza in and then you wake up and the pizza's on the fan and it's just spinning around. You go, how did it get in the fan?
Yeah. That makes me want pizza.
And you're at somebody else's house.
Gosh, it makes me want an Ambien. No, just kidding. That was a joke.
I mean, even little things. I mean, my stepdad was one of those straight edge, didn't drink, hard ass guys, and he had high cholesterol, so they gave him that B vitamin, niacin.
Oh,
Dude,
And
that'll heat you up.
And they didn't give him the no flush. And as a kid, I thought it was hilarious, but he freaked out. He almost called 911.
yeah, Denny's.
He was like overheating, like
Dude, you get for
Denny's
what,
and
30
I,
minutes.
yeah, Denny's and I have a niacin story. I was trying to beat. I was smoking weed, and the radio station down in Miami had a drug test.
Cox Media drug test.
And you're going, it's radio. A drug test? What?
What do you think we're doing here?
Well, I'll go for weed. So I had to quit weed for about 45 to 50 days, and it wasn't out of my system. It was like day 31. I'm like, oh my gosh, Denny's. What? Oh, I snoop?
So he looked up.
Yeah, it might have been maybe 3 weeks in. I was pretty insane about that. So we heard that niacin clears out toxins in your body because we're doing all kind of research. So me and him got niacin and took it, and it didn't really affect me that much. It made me kind of heated.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Denny's.
Dude.
That was the first time I ever saw Denny's freak out. He goes, man, I think I'm fucking dying.
Dude, it heats you up.
It does, yeah.
So it expands all of your
Capillaries,
capillaries,
yeah,
every
yeah.
one of them in your body.
We're-
Your
yeah.
blood flow is just too
And your
great.
small of your elbows and behind your knees start to get real tingly, like
Your
real-
whole body
yeah,
gets
yeah,
tingly,
yeah.
man. Jeez, that scared me. I didn't know what was happening.
We were watching a movie, and we're so cozy. We're chilling. Not that cozy because I couldn't smoke weed, but we were just there, and all of a sudden, he started grabbing his shirt. I don't feel right, man. I don't feel right.
I feel like my skin turned pink.
It did.
It was freaking crazy.
Yeah, so
That just reminded me of something I hadn't thought about since a kid, and it was kind of messed up. Maybe it was just a urban legend, but we used to put the kids used to put Visine in someone's drink, and you would have explosive diarrhea.
Yeah.
Is that true, or is that?
I think
just,
it is true.
I think it is true. We always threatened it. We never actually did it.
Well, I mean, it's got to be true. It was in Wedding Crashers.
Yeah. Bradley
So,
Cooper got it.
Probably pretty true.
that's true.
Let's see.
I mean,
what else.
that's messed up though too.
Yeah.
Putting Visine in somebody's drink.
That's horrible.
Oh my god.
Any kind of you're a psychopath if you're putting drugs and squirting things in people's drinks and food and they don't know it. You are somebody I can never trust with anything
Well, yeah.
ever close to my life or heart.
I wonder if there's state law against that. Like if someone gave you an Ambien without your knowledge,
Oh
or
my
there's,
God.
There has to
there's
be.
got to be a state law.
It
on
is.
that.
It's absolutely a crime. You cannot drug another person.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Well, some
illegal.
people have allergies.
Yeah.
Somebody did that to me. They gave me a brownie, and they did a really good job of making it not taste like a pot brownie. And they just said it was a regular brownie, and they
That's
thought it'd be
fucked up.
funny
Yeah.
that I ate a pot brownie, and it was I wasn't ready for that high,
Yeah.
so I thought I was dying.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you think because your body's doing something it doesn't usually do when you don't provoke it.
You're right.
I feel like it should be attempted,
We got 61 people watching in our YouTube chat room. I wonder, out of all those 61, who has drugged somebody? You know at least one has, Beckett. You know they have.
Totally.
You think it's over 61, Denny's?
So would you say like 1 out of 100 people have done it, or 1 out of 50 people have done it?
I think 1 out of 50.
Have
Vicky.
drugged.
I'm gonna go 1
somebody.
out of 200.
Really?
Say
I think it's-
drug because that's
yeah.
kind of nefarious, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, no. I mean, technically, you would have to add in all the date rape
Yeah.
drugs too. Yeah.
Think about frat boys
like-
thinking it's funny. Oh, I
Yeah.
dropped ecstasy in
Or
my
a
boy's
prank.
drink.
Yeah, like to make somebody freak out. Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
I don't know
That's
either.
tough.
It is tough.
Grim.
It's very grim.
Yeah, in Florida, it can be a third-degree felony.
Felony.
good, yeah.
Good. Well, you
should be.
Don't drug people.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
See, like somebody said, slip somebody a laxative before. I mean, would you count?
Absolutely. You are slipping something into somebody's food and drink, and you're causing a disruption
Bubble
physically
guts.
or. I get it. Look, I know you're not going to kill anybody on X-Lax. I get that. It's still not cool.
No.
It's just not cool. No, unless it's a.
It could cause dehydration, and they could die.
Totally.
There
So
you go.
in Florida, a laxative could be considered battery or poisoning charges.
Oh wow.
There you go.
Damn, they do take this.
If the
seriously.
act causes harm or distress, it could escalate to a criminal battery charge.
Yeah.
Wow.
If the intent was to embarrass, prank, or humiliate, prosecutors may still pursue charges, especially if the person affected is a vulnerable adult or child.
By the way, I like you
Yeah.
looking up stuff on
So
the show. That's
fast.
one of your new roles, if you don't
Nah,
mind.
I like it.
You're very
so
good.
quick.
Very good, Beckett. I love that. Here's one I wanted to talk to you guys about. Dark side of, manifesting things. Is there a dark side of it? Somebody wanted to know, can manifesting desires backfire and unleash unintended consequences? The Secret, all of that stuff. I'm going to do the vision board. Vicky, let's go to you as the expert here. Can it backfire?
I mean, just think of the old saying: "Be careful what you wish for." So I would imagine that there are circumstances where, yeah, it probably could have really, really bad effects.
Especially if you're trying to manifest someone's love. Let's say there's some woman out there, Beckett, just pining for that ass, wanting to rub those nails through that hair.
She drugging me?
Would you be bummed out if she fed you a potion that caused you to become enamored in her?
I
Is
mean,
she hot and cool?
no, you wouldn't even know it. She
You-
could be.
you
She could be.
just-
She could be hot and cool. She could also be somebody you're not attracted to at all.
I think
On the worst level.
I still go back to the answer before. Either way, it's not cool.
Yeah.
No, but for the sake of the game, though,
Oh.
would you care if she wanted to get that ass?
Do I get it?
To get what?
Does he get the ass?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, she's going for that ass.
And I remember it?
What am I, the stand over here, Becky? Yeah, you remember it every 5th day. You come to, and then
You're
go.
just in
Literally.
a stupor.
Yeah, and then for about 10 minutes, then you come back in, and you're like, oh yeah,
I mean, don't threaten me with a good time.
okay, Beckett's in.
So would voodoo fall under this category? Because you're kind of using magic, dark magic, I guess, to try to get
I
a
don't-
result.
I'm a hopeless romantic. It would be tough. I think it would be tough. It'd have to be some strong potion.
Love potion
Number 9, yeah.
You ever see that movie? It's pretty hokey.
Daddy's nobody saw that movie.
And we just heard the song.
I know the song. I like the song.
Love potion. What do you think, Vicky, on all this?
Yeah, I mean,
madness?
in the hands of the wrong person, of course, you're going to get, because if it's a negative person, you're going to have negative forces that are going to try to make it happen.
But let me ask you this: if everybody had the ability to, let's say, like 5% ability of getting what you want through either a doll, ventriloquism, or you're doing some kind of a potion, how many people do you think would use that to their advantage? They would even struggle morally with it. But on a bad night, do they use the potion for their gain? You have 61 people in the chat room, maybe less now, 62.
I really even wouldn't be attracted to using it. It would feel like dirty.
It
Yeah.
is dirty.
Yeah.
Potions
Yeah.
that trick people into thinking something's dirty.
Yeah. And I wouldn't want someone to fall in love with me because
feel
somebody
good.
did a spell on them. I want it to be pure.
But let me throw this
What
at
if it
you.
was Prince?
Well, he's dead.
Zombie
if it's
Prince.
Thanks for bringing it up, Beckett.
What if it brought him to life, and he's in love with you?
Well, that actually kind of brings me to the next thing. What if it's not just about love? Let's say you can use this potion. There's a little bit you can use per year, but you're not sure if it is going.
So you could get a promotion at your job, but
Yes.
the person that would have gotten the promotion breaks their leg.
You use your potion, but the person that gave you the potion says, "Beware, because they could fall back on you. But use it wisely." Would most people? Oh my gosh! Would most people use the potion to get their advantage? Whether it's
Probably,
to
yeah.
get money.
What if the potion helps you get world peace?
It's not that much potion.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't get world peace, and stop ruining my game.
I'd say most people would be enticed by that.
And basically, what it really would mean is when you drink the potion, somebody else gets hurt slightly. How many people would use that
It's
potion?
rough.
Yeah.
Well,
And you-
unfortunately, there's a lot of people
Yeah.
that are going to use that potion.
I
Let's
think
be
so, too.
honest.
well, we've got 66 people watching. Out of those 66, how many use it?
10.
I'm going to go 32.
Wow. Yeah, they're struggling with bills.
I'd say half. Yeah, half's a good.
But the genie comes up and says, "Okay, but if you drink this, you will get that bonus at work. But your neighbor is going to lose their cat."
Ugh.
I mean, that's what we're dealing with, Beckett.
Nah.
I know. How many
Go with 32.
how many people use that
Here
potion?
comes that promotion. No, just kidding.
Well, with that said, it might be time for some
Denny's Random
Facts. Our sweet Denny's does a great job hunting. He's a hunter. Arr.
A gatherer as well.
The internet, the Encyclopedia Britannica, dictionaries across all editions.
Yes.
Yeah, so Denny's, the floor is
the
yours.
ones.
But before, let me explain. Vicky's our educator. She grades you. If she loves it, she gives you an A. She hates it, she gives it an F. Now the floor is yours.
So this is kind of cool, and I think this is something maybe Bird should buy, but the world's first T-Rex leather may hit the shelves by the end of this year. They use fossilized collagen from dinosaur remains, and scientists reconstructed the T-Rex's DNA to grow bio-based leather without harming animals or the environment. It's lab-grown leather, uses scaffold-free cell growth. They say it's a cruelty-free, luxurious way to get leather, and it's leather cultivated from a T-Rex.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine me wearing that shit?
So you can get
You're gonna have a-
T-Rex leather bag.
You're going to have a
T-Rex.
full suit.
Oh my god, a T-Rex suit?
So they say it may hit the shelves at the end of this year, possibly the beginning of next year.
Start saving up.
Vicky, what do you think of
It's
this?
going to be expensive, I bet.
Yeah.
Before you grade him, do you think this is even real?
I double checked it.
I trust Denny's.
No, I'm not. I'm not
So?
saying that the story's not real. Are they going to legit?
Oh, is this company-
Yeah, is this company legit, or is this some horse shit?
This is a typical human thing. We're doing T-Rex leather. Why don't we just do that with real leather? You
So
know?
I think this company
Save,
does.
save some cows.
So it's a company that does do lab-grown leather. They paired with a company called Organoid Company and a company called VML, and those three companies together have created this leather.
Wow.
Crazy.
Oh look, I love animals. I love dinosaurs. Is it disrespectful to wear a dinosaur jacket?
No, I think it's awesome. I think we're going to be the first people that could actually do that.
I
And some
love it.
dinosaur boots.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I'll keep an eye out for him to see. I'll keep an eye out for it. But yeah, I think the story dropped like yesterday or the day before.
Blame it all on my dino boots.
But also in museums, they could wrap the
Yeah, that's true, the
bones and they
exhibits.
could have it like realistic.
I think they just recently found is the ankylosaur. They found a intact one with skin and a face for the first time ever.
Whoa.
A very, very intact fossil. So
What do you think the sexiest dinosaur? Nah, never mind.
Sexiest.
Go on, Denny's. Go on.
I mean, Diplodocus is kind of a sexy dinosaur. Let's see here.
I'm going to give that one a B. I'm not totally overwhelmed.
Wow.
It might bump it to an A as soon as you buy your suit.
Yeah, I kind of grabbed that one for you because I knew that once I see leather coming out, dinosaur leather.
Gosh, I'm so the poor man's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. So, we always talk about drones and all the stuff they're doing with them and the surveillance and the spying, but I think this is actually a really good use for drones. A Japanese company, Faraday, created a caged drone with a lightning rod on it, and during bad storms, they fly the drone out. It's designed to attract lightning, and they can have mobile lightning rods they can move around based on storms. They're trying to find a way right now to successfully harness that energy, return the drone, send another drone out, and collect energy from lightning.
Wow, so the drone doesn't drop out of the sky when it gets hit?
So they said it can take one full bolt. They're trying to find a way to harness that energy to use it, but right now they can just capture it, and they've successfully directed lightning and caught lightning.
It's very, very interesting.
It's pretty cool. You didn't even think about using drones for that, but anywhere that's an important event or an outside thing, or like even a golf course, you could fly the drones that are designed to entice or attract lightning.
I know I always blow these drones these days, but I can't believe the capabilities of them.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It really is. It's blurring lines. It's causing confusion.
You know how they do those big drone displays with they'll do like King Kong climbing a building. I saw a case where the drones failed midair and they all dropped at the same time. It looks insane because they're all colorful and they all just start collapsing.
You're right. What goes up must come down.
You don't think about that if they actually malfunction. Not like fireworks that would just fall as powder.
My big fear about the drones is they're going to start doing things where you're driving down the highway, just chilling, and then boom, eyeball blinking at you, boom, it's gone. Like, what the hell was that? All of a sudden, then dragging, blowing fire.
So that'll be that augmented reality, or if they could somehow project holograms into like the air.
Holograms?
I don't know. I almost said holograms.
Oh my gosh! Like gag me with a spoon. Holograms?
Guys.
When did you turn on Holly Girl?
I know. So yeah, the holograms. They'll if they could project those into the air, those will look real. But drones still kind of look like drones.
They do. I think holograms is the thing that scares me, and I kind of feel like they already got the technology for that, Denny's.
Yeah, I think they do. I've seen Tupac in concert.
Oh yeah, that was a while ago. That was fantastic. It was at Coachella or something.
That's
right?
old school.
Yeah, old
holograms.
school.
Now
That
they've
was
gone-
amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, Tupac was glitching out back then. I'm talking about the new school.
It's gotta be insane.
Of in the sky shit.
So the way they're doing it, kind of, at least in households, is they now have the screen on the bottom and they use a diagonal piece of glass, and then it makes the image look like it's upward 'cause with a mirror that they use. It makes it look like it's standing in the middle of the box. It's kind of a cool.
That's some R2D2 shit.
Yes.
Vicky.
B.
All right.
He's not wowing me yet.
Wow.
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 All right, let's see here. So I kind of teased this one on the video before the podcast. The bone collector caterpillar.
You're saying it wrong.
The bone collector.
Thank you.
Scientists have discovered a caterpillar that uses dead insect body parts to cover its body and disguise itself while it sneaks around and steals their food. They've dubbed it the bone collector caterpillar. It's a newly discovered species in Hawaii that lives amongst spiders. So it takes the dead insect parts that the spider discards and covers its body in it, and then climbs around the web and eats the food off of it. It's the way they've adapted, but yeah, amazingly, we have never discovered it. What's even weirder is that these caterpillars are carnivorous, and what's even weirder than that is they're also cannibal.
Oh.
So they'll eat anything plus other of their own species.
It's sick.
It's pretty gross. Yeah, it's kind of a weird new discovery though in the world of caterpillars, Hawaiian caterpillars.
That one's an A.
It's pretty.
Vicky
pretty
loves cannibalism.
I was pretty hyped when I saw that they cover their body in bones. It's pretty amazing.
And I love bones.
So I grabbed this one because I just love old timey stuff.
Okay, then you. How old is this?
This is 1950s.
Well,
Well, yeah. So it's that type.
can you deliver the fact in a little bit of this voice?
Wow, guys. No. Why, what I say here is in the 1950s, Popular Science magazine had a special edition on how to run a productive household. All right, I'm gonna stop. But
I thought it was, I so enjoyed it.
so yeah, they published an issue about how to run a productive household, and they offered up some tips for it. And these tips are unhinged. So the first tip is, they say when you got old flashlight batteries, instead of throwing them out in the trash can, they recommend that you take your old batteries and you throw them into the fireplace every now and then, because the burning zinc cuts down on soot formation, and the metal chemicals will react and make colorful flames. Obviously, in present day, we know this is a horrible idea.
Horrible.
So that was one of the tips they offered. They also offered to dispose of engine oil. They recommend digging a hole in the ground, filling it with gravel, then pouring your used oil into that hole, which will be reabsorbed into the ground and added back to the oil source, and then cover it with soil.
Wow.
Pretty terrible. They even had an ad in there for 7-Up that had an 11-month-old kid drinking 7-Up, saying he's not even our youngest customer. In fact, at that time, Coca-Cola was running a campaign to encourage you to start feeding your child Coke as soon as they're born. They encouraged you to start feeding Coca-Cola to your kid as early as you could to guarantee a happy life and to help them fit in older when they hit teenage age.
Wow.
Is that pretty wild?
I got to stop saying a wow, but you're wowing.
I actually read a recent study saying that if you give your child a lot of sugar in the first 1,000 days, it leads to type 2 diabetes. They actually encourage you not to give your kid any sugar for the first 1,000 days of their life.
Really? Boy, did my parents like, swing and miss on that one.
So Coca-Cola had an ad campaign that said the exact opposite of that.
Coke's dirty.
1950s Coke was definitely dirty.
Look, I am a Coke slut, but look, they got it passed, Beckett. I mean, remember Coca-Cola with the cocaine?
Yeah.
Totally.
I go on.
Or there was an old, you know how they used to come out with the snake oil, and then they had these like health potions and elixirs. A famous one, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a French one, was cocaine and wine mixed together. And they sold it as a health elixir.
Sounds like a Saturday night.
Oh my God. People were porking and fighting at that thing.
Dude, it's like, of course that person feels amazing after drinking that.
The 60s were crazy.
There was so much porking and so much fist fighting at that thing.
That was
Oh
like
my
free love back then.
ain't nothing free about that, man.
No, that's fair.
Drink French. Yeah, I wish I remember the name of it. I'm looking it up. But yeah, it's called the Vin Mariani.
To me, cocaine mixed with any kind of alcohol is insane.
Yeah, they would sprinkle cocaine in it and then just stir it and then sell that as a health elixir.
Is that a wet Cocoa Puff?
Yeah, pretty much.
Becky, you know about that Cocoa Puff?
I've never had that.
I've never had
Cocaine
it.
on a blunt.
Those are frosted Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. Cocaine on
Powdered
a blunt.
donut.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that they say that drink, that French drink's what encouraged Coca-Cola. The guy had that and was like, "Oh snap, we can put cocaine and stuff."
Wow.
And that's how they make Coca-Cola.
And I'm so curious too. I don't think anyone's alive. Maybe they are. I don't know. I've asked it so many times since Station 1 Denny's. People who grew up at a time where there was cocaine in Coca-Cola, was it that much? If you had one Coke, could you legit feel it? And if you drank 5 of them, were you off your ass on Coke?
It probably just felt like a Red Bull.
You think?
I think they had probably different ratios because Coca-Cola wasn't the only people putting cocaine and stuff. I mean, they used to sell tins of cocaine with a straw in it.
But I'm saying soda. You're going there to get a soda.
But soda wasn't really like a kid's drink back then, you know? Soda was like kind of a luxury drink.
Oh yeah, it doesn't even matter. I'm
You
just
get it at
asking.
the pharmacy. It was like like an elixir kind of thing.
It was. A lot of it was like
It's like a
elixir.
syrup almost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did it taste? A, did it taste good? And B, if it did it also really get you
Totally
twisted?
I think people got addicted to a lot of these old
Wow, that's crazy.
health
Thinking about Coca-Cola being involved in cocaine is insane.
Well, cocaine wasn't illegal.
So people could absolutely feel it. There was 9 milligrams of cocaine per serving in Coca-Cola.
I mean, people were getting
back in the day. So they described it as elevated mood, mild euphoria, increased energy or alertness. Some even reported it as a nerve or brain tonic, praising how it made them feel.
I gotta tell you, I am just nuts about your new role on the podcast. Very efficient, very articulate, very great job, Beckett.
It was full. The 1904 was removed. In 1929, Coca-Cola fully removed psychoactive cocaine alkaloids using a spent cocoa leaf that was processed to remove the drug, which they use for flavoring today.
Wow.
Wow.
So it probably considers
Via, I didn't know this, via a DEA approved facility.
it probably has to be. Well, so I was just saying, it
Wow.
probably still contains
Now I'm saying wow.
super.
It's contagious.
It's probably contains super trace amounts of cocaine, right? Still, because I mean, it's like kind of like a decaf bean.
So it's still, I didn't know this. Coca-Cola still uses a cocoa leaf extract minus the
does.
cocaine
I
as
think
part of
they're
its
allowed.
secret flavor. Wow, interesting.
That's why everybody's addicted to Coke.
Yeah, you
kidding,
wonder.
man.
Jeez, people are.
Good gosh. Well,
Especially McDonald's. They put a little extra in there.
I love McDonald's
They
Coke.
have their own recipe.
They do, and their ketchup and their Coke is great. I do love their Coke, and I love their ketchup. They have their own recipe at McDonald's. I'm not sure what they're doing back in. It's kind of some Wonka shit.
Have you guys done the Coke tour in Atlanta?
No.
Oh my god.
in Hotlanta.
Oh, they have the Coke. You go to the Coca-Cola factory. They have all the different Cokes around the world,
that would
and they have different flavors based on like the cultures, basically.
That would be
yeah, it's
so
really cool.
Wow,
fun.
chase the nuance between each Coke.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
Kinda cool.
gosh, I would love that. That'd be such a fun trip.
Field trip.
Yeah,
I mean,
field
that
trip.
is cool. Yeah, I'm down.
We have so many field trips we want to do. One of these days.
One day.
Well, I think it might be time for some. Don't. Beckett with Beckett. Ryan Beckett, he is our tech aficionado. He's going to let you know what you need to know in the tech world. Beckett, what do the consumers need to know?
So I have two teasers, and then I have my main one. So the first one is literally a teaser. So we've talked about it on the podcast, but I looked up some companies that are actually making some headway on this. There's a company called Replica that is an AI-powered chatbot that's designed to serve as a personal companion, a girlfriend, significant other. And man, you have personalized conversations. It can be sexual, emotional support. You can basically, like weird science, I don't know if you can see that on the thing, you can design an anime version or a realistic version of your avatar. So I just brought it up because I've talked about it kind of like high level. I think I might try it and report back next week.
All right.
on-
We would
on
love
this
that.
Yeah.
AI girlfriend.
We love a show and tell, a presentation of sorts.
It's interesting. And then my second one, you know, I'm kind of we did rebuilding Bird. I'm kind of doing rebuilding Beckett, getting back in shape for summer. And, you know, it's not super techy, but I think with the audience, I try to give things that aren't just, hey, there's a telescope that
Yeah.
found a life molecule on a planet in the same solar system. So I used to put my nose up to it. Apple Fitness is $7.99 a day. I wake up in my boxers with my dogs licking me and hanging out, and I don't have to go to the gym. It's $7.99, and you can do, I want to do core strength training, male trainers, hip hop music, 3 days a week, drops in my calendar, and you have the screenshot of it. I have these dial dumbbells. I ordered them on Amazon. They weren't expensive. They go to 55 pounds. So instead of having a whole rack, you have up to 55 pounds. They go 5-pound increments, and they have dance. They have yoga. They have meditation. It's all included. You can do it from your iPad, iPhone, Apple TV, or whatever. It has moved the needle for me personally, for what it's worth, a lot. I'm obsessed with it.
Question.
Yes.
Can you moonwalk?
So in the dance, maybe you actually learn different kinds. They have salsa, merengue, hip hop. They have all different kinds of things.
That's just
It
my
actually
game.
might make me a less bad dancer.
Are you a bad dancer, Beckett?
I say my my dancing is like my jokes and like my game. It's so bad it works.
Okay. He wants to believe that.
It's got to be here.
All right. What else you got for us?
Okay, so last but not least,
Tiny dancer.
I just got off the plane. I did a form of. I've been doing sections of the Appalachian Trail with two close friends, and we've talked about it on the podcast. I really believe in it. I mean, they plan it. You know, it's a lot to fit in, but I look at it. I make myself go because I look at it as nature washing, and we talked about that. And it's just, I think it's just so good for your mental health. So its core benefits, nature washing, there's research and studies behind it. It reduces your stress and your cortisol. It can help improve your mood and focus, better sleep, cognitive refresh, mindfulness, and grounding. So the Japanese we talked about are big on this. So we did this last section. We flew into Tennessee. We did 22 miles the first, 18. I mean, I can barely walk when I came in here to the podcast. Absolutely. We have campfire chats and everything like that. So one of the things that as it relates to tech, I used, it's an app, not sponsored, but it's called Relive. So if you record on your watch or your whatever, your workout, it's called Relive. So say you're in a car ride with Denny's doing something cool, or you're on your dirt bike or on your whatever, it will actually splice it together. It takes 10 seconds and it looks like a professional video. I sent it to Denny's so you can kind of see.
I was showing,
you can kind of see our first day of our trek.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
Drink.
I sped it up so it doesn't take too long.
That's great. I love it, Becky.
Are you seeing it?
Yeah,
So,
I saw
yeah,
it.
I flashed it for the audience.
So
while
if you
were
take
talking.
pictures along what you're doing, your drive with your best friend or your,
It
whatever,
incorporates it all.
It incorporates it all. You can choose music, speed, different terrain. It's called Relive. It's just that's another thing for the audience. Like, it's a tech thing that's not AI so out there or whatever. It's something that I use all the time that I just think is really cool that I highly recommend.
Very cool. Does it cost money?
No, well, they have a free version if you want to.
Low budget version. That
Yeah.
drug dealer shit.
But the free
Yeah.
version, free version is pretty good. What they do is if you want to choose your own music and do stuff like that, then they start bumping you up.
And let me guess, you got bumped up, didn't you?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
So
yet.
You're still on the free.
I'm always the guy that gets bumped up, but not
yeah,
yet.
you're about to make that change.
Fingers on the trigger.
That's very good stuff, Becky.
Yeah,
Is that your? That was your last one?
That's awesome.
Very good. Very nice.
I'll update next week on the
Yeah, I'm
AI,
curious about that.
the chatbot. It's interesting to me.
I love that. And real quick, Vicky, a question that someone really they've asked this quite a long time, and I know you've brought it up before. But why are mirrors tied to so many hauntings and folklore? Are mirrors just glass or a gateway?
A lot of people believe that they are a gateway to the other side, and I can just tell you from personal experience, when I go into homes, they say you never should have a mirror facing another mirror because that really opens up a pathway. And there was a case out in Jupiter Farms. I did the interview on the phone. I said, do you have any mirrors facing mirrors? She said, yes, I do in several locations. I had her remove one of the mirrors in each of those locations, and the activity literally cut in half just by doing that simple thing.
Do you have any mirrors on mirrors?
I got.
It can also be reflective, like if you have like a mirror and then on the other side you have like sliders
That reflect back.
that reflect
All right, I
back.
mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't have mirror on mirror, but I'm going to get it tonight.
I will.
I will make that happen. Well, thank you guys all for listening to the Weird Whatever podcast. We really do appreciate you listening live on our Thursday night. This is the part where I beg for you guys to, when we upload this video, we have got, how many people now, Denny's? Oh, wow, it really dropped off. 54. Even if like 5 people leave a comment after this uploads, we would be oh so just happy, just so tickled in the heart.
Yes.
But make sure it uploads. Everyone in the chat room would really appreciate it. We always love to end our show with the original singer-writer or singer-songwriter kind of moment of somebody in our audience. This song is by a band called Bear and the North. Now, I know this guy.
All
I
right.
coached this guy back in the day. He sent me this message. This is a song called Rooney's, a bar that was here locally up in the Jupiter Abacoa area, I believe. That's what I thought it was about. But yeah, this is Bear and the North Star, and this is called Rooney's. Thank you all. We love you all, and
Bigfoot is real.
Times were gold with new friends and old. The whiskey's warm and the beers were cold. Home away from home, the greatest place we made our own. Fresh out of college and in a band, they gave us a night to give us a chance. Guitars and girls and plans, that's where it all began. We'll always have Rooney's on a Tuesday night. Those were some of the best beers of our lives. When you're 22, still learning about life, just want someone to hear what you write. That little Irish bar where we sang our song, grew up with guitars. We were so far gone, seen many broken hearts go get lucky again. Shed a piece of my soul still outside on the bench. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. We'll always have Roonies on a Tuesday night. We weren't real good, but we were getting there, and everyone's gotta start somewhere. Some nights were empty chairs, and some nights you couldn't get a beer. 2 a.m. drunk as Dublin, laughing so hard over nothing, holding on to my friend stumbling. We were on to something. We'll always have Roonies on a Tuesday night. Those were some of the best beers of our lives. When you're 22, still learning about life, just want someone to hear what you write. That little Irish bar where we sang our songs, grew up with guitars. We were so far gone, seen many broken hearts go get lucky again. Shed a piece of my soul still outside on the bench. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. Have Roonies on a Tuesday night. Looking back, I reminisce the times we had, I really miss. And everyone I talk to agrees. Too bad they shut the doors, 'cause I'd go back for just one more beer in memory. We'll always have Roonies on a Tuesday night. Those were some of the best beers of our lives. When you're 22, still learning about life, I'd give anything for one more night. That little Irish bar where we sang our songs, grew up with guitars. We were so far gone, seen many broken hearts go get lucky again. Shed a piece of my soul still outside on the bench. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. We'll always have Roonies on a Tuesday